Colorado's Travis Hunter is an NFL draft prospect we've rarely, if ever, seen before, and we may never see again. His uniqueness transcends this NFL draft, and it's not just that he can play two positions, both corner and wide receiver, at a high level. It's the combination of the ball skills, the elite movement skills, and the incredible feel and IQ that he plays with that makes him a shoo-in to be a very, very good player wherever he decides to play. So let's break down both positions for you here, and we'll start with the cornerback position. So when it comes to Travis Hunter, the corner, right, the numbers pretty solid the last two seasons at the position, right? He's had 7 interceptions and 16 passes defensed over the last 2 years at Colorado. 2023, a really strong missed tackle rate of only 8.8%, 13 stops in 2024, and a really, really good 39.9 passer rating allowed in 2024 as well. So when it comes to the film for Travis Hunter at corner, I think the place to start is UCLA in 2023, where it felt like he really burst onto the scene, and you could tell that Hunter was a really, really special player, right? And I think it starts with the awareness, the ability to get the eyes on the QB, and to close and make plays. Like right here, just again, press, bumps the outside receiver off his route, already has eyes on the QB, and is ready to close on a play like this. And it stumbles a little bit, and yet still makes an incredible play. This is what I'm talking about with the feel, IQ, and ball skills, right? And so here, bottom of your screen, just the ability to flip his hips, right? Take away this underneath route and close on the corner route here. Impressive extension, great read, good eye discipline. Again, just a playmaker in every sense of the word. And so here, right, he's down in the box initially. What does he do? Nobody's in his area. Okay, sink to find and poach crossing routes coming to his side. Really, really strong work there. And then again, just the ability to come off one route and potentially make a play on another, right? He has the flat route. That's his assignment. He reads the quarterback immediately. And if this ball is not tipped at the line of scrimmage, there's a chance Hunter has another interception in that game. So also, what do you see, right? The ability to flip his hips in transition right here against Arizona. Look at how easy we're planting our foot in the ground and changing direction. You're going to see it again up top here. And just, again, the patience, but also just the movement skills. Look at sink the hips, easy in transition, right? And just never feels like he's really out of position. And here, I think, is a great example of a receiver pushing vertically, right? And on this dig route, this deep crosser, a lot of receivers will gain separation, and corners are often a step behind. Hunter just is so smooth with that transition and on that curvilinear path that he can stay in the hip pocket on these in breakers. And the same goes for here on an outbreaker, right? Just no wasted movement, so fluid, right? It doesn't even feel like a transition. It just kind of feels like he's almost floating on water, right? Like a jet ski of some sort, where it's natural and easy to turn. And again, just the awareness, right? The eye discipline, the ability to close in an instant and make plays on the football. It's all over the place when you watch him. Here, another great example of, he loses a little bit of ground, but he's in the hip pocket, the ability to close and nearly pick off another pass, right? Just so opportunistic at the catch point, and yet so technically sound where he has the ability to be in position to make all these plays. And here, contact in the stem, stay through that at the top, and be in the position where receivers off balance because of all the contact you initiated, you're in position to potentially make another play, just another dropped interception there. And again, the feel, right? Sees that the number 3 in this route is working towards his area, take it away, right? Very, very simple, but super effective. And he's up against McMillan at the top on this sort of whip route return to the outside. But what does he see? Right, he gets his eyes on the QB and notices where this throw is going, ability to close, disrupt the catch point, right? The ability to peel off and of his guy because he has the vision and instincts to see what's going on is so good. And again, McMillan starts the scramble drill. Hunter picks him up on the crosser. No issues whatsoever. right? And again, same thing, right? Working these low to high looks, right? Getting his butt to the sideline so he can close either direction if he needs to. And again, if this throws on target, it might be another interception. It's just way overthrown. So it is really impressive. And I think here might be the best example. Look at him. Sink to the sideline. He's got his back to it. And he has the ability to say, okay, I can close down on this flat route, or I can work to this corner route. And he's already got that sort of, he's already prepared to close deeper because he thinks that's where the quarterback's going to go. Now, he has help over the top, of course, but you can see that ability to close space, but also take away multiple routes is so impressive. And he's so patient that he's able to trust his speed and his instincts to cut off a lot of these hitch routes. 2 back-to-back here against Alec Iomanner, right? Same thing here at the bottom of your screen against Kyle Williams, where just the ability, fluid in transition, drop the weight, change direction, and just easily take it away. One of the few reps you'll get against Tetairoa McMillan here in the hip pocket. Trust the speed. Gets a little grabby, which we'll talk about, but again, he is with him the entire way. Same thing here. He certainly trusts his speed, but he also trusts that, you make a little contact and then you make sure you're in the hip pocket, and he is. And again, this level of extension is nuts. Almost an absurd interception from Hunter here, right? Just the ability to elevate and challenge the catch point like that is so good. Gets a little out of position, right, on the seam route, but the ability to quickly recover and be in the hip pocket for a potential interception. Excellent work there. Just happened to be an overthrow. In the red zone, what do we see against Kyle Williams? Working some steps into this release, trying to gain ground, right? Working the slant. Nope, Hunter takes it away. And he's in his lap. Disrupt the catch point, easy. Another one in the red zone. Drag routes are often one, that you can use when you get man coverage like this to find some openings, but Hunter's in his hip pocket the entire way. And almost makes a play there as well. So you get that, and again, right, he's flipping the hips this direction, but he knows he can cut off these in-breaking routes, close on an outbreaker, and run with him on a go. Like, he is in great position to do all of these things. And look at him in a position to cut off this dig route. Like, this is fantastic position to be in. Just unfortunate, right? He tries to go for the ball. And again, tremendous process, just a little bit of a tough result. And then again, physicality, closing downhill, making tackles. He certainly does that at a high level, right? Closing here on this motion to make a play in the backfield. It's really good, right? And the same thing here, right? Stay in the zone, be patient, and then close in a hurry and limit things after the catch. And he can also play physical, right? He can push you to the sideline. He's not afraid to do any of that, right? Just takes Kyle Williams completely out of a play there. So he has all that ability as well, right? And sometimes, though, a little tendency you can see here to get grabby at the top. Got to be careful with that. Got to make sure to stay, patient and in position. That you can see a little bit. Here against McMillan's a good example of, like, he trusts his closing speed and the ball skills and his athletic gifts so much that he tries to undercut this. And so more precise throwers of the football are going to make throws like that, and it's unfortunate for him. Vertically, he does have the speed, but he does sometimes lose track like he does here against Iomanner and as well here against Williams, where I think it's this, right? He peaks right here, right? He turns his back to see if the throw's coming, and I think that slows him down just a little bit here, giving up that touchdown. And I think the one other thing is that some of the tackling in space, he does a great job downhill, but you want to see more of these plays be made. Can't have a missed tackle like that. Here against Iomanner, right? Tries to wrap him up. Unfortunately, it turns into a really big play. And again, everybody probably wants this one to be showed because he gets mossed here. Again, this getting burned, mossed, it will happen to you in the league. So the corner tape is really good, right? We've already talked about kind of the three main things, the movement skills, the ball skills, and the instincts. So what about the wide receiver position? So as a wide receiver, a very impressive 2024 season, right? 96 catches for 1,258 yards and 15 touchdowns. Had 2.51 yards per route run in 2024, along with 24 missed tackles forced, 55 first downs, caught 11 of 17 contested balls, And over his career, really solid numbers as well. 2.42 yards per route run, 0.107 first downs per route run, and 0.44 first downs per target. Per Matt Harmon's reception perception, 92nd percentile success versus man, and then 97th percentile success against zone and press. And a cool little nugget here from Fantasy Points data, his yards per route run without screens goes way up to 2.94. So the numbers look excellent. How about the film? So when you look at the wide receiver film for Travis Hunter, you see a really, really impressive skill set as well, of course. And, you know, Hunter ran a ton of hitches and curls in the Colorado offense. It was unfortunate that we didn't get to see what he could do with a full route tree, but the signs are certainly there for him to be able to do it at a high level in the NFL. Here, just quick work of one where you threaten a little bit to the outside with the release, get the corner to flip their hips, pressure vertically, throttle control the gear down, and an easy win with separation on a simple hitch route, right? And it was a constant across film, right? Pressure vertically, the throttle control, the ability to drop your hips, but also then ensure that it's a race back to the football, right? Go get the football on some of these hitch routes. And here, a really good slow play, accelerate and put late pressure, and you get reps like that where it's just easy street in terms of separation. Again, great throttle control, easy separation on the hitch route there against Kansas. Now, some of the other release stuff that he can do is really impressive. It's a little tougher to see this one, but a two-step release, Colorado State corner is going to go for the jam. Easy work combating that to then find some space between the corner and the safety here against Kansas State. Another one where it's fighting against some physicality, little club and arm over to handle that press. Really, really strong. A little shuffle release slant against BYU. He has the release game in his bag, right? Little threaten to widen that release to the outside. And again, another decent job gearing down. You can see how sharp he cuts, right? And when, you threaten to the outside and come back, these sharp cuts are where maybe you think, maybe some ironing out in terms of the technical refinement in his game. But man, does he make some of this look super, super easy because of the movement skills. Here, a great example of combat, right? Combat that press. And then just how rare it is to get up to speed within like 2 steps to accelerate and win that route easily. And if you're not convinced because of that one, because it was a little weird that he didn't gain ground, here's one gaining ground, 2 steps at the top of the route, and easy acceleration to win there. He does a good job varying some tempo. And I think with some guys, if they slow play it, it's a little dangerous because they don't have good accelerative capabilities. But Hunter has that to where he can plant and go really, really quickly. Maybe not as much there against Oklahoma State, but you saw the gear change here against Arizona, a similar one where it's in and out of that break in an instant, right? This is super quick. 1, 2, 3, and we're out. You can slow play it if you can get out of breaks like that. Now, he has to make sure that that's not ruining, right, the tempo and the setup of the play. But you see how effective it can be. Here, another great release, threaten to the outside with a few steps on the slant. Easy win for him. So the release game is very strong. And here, right, jab step to the outside, dive to the inside for your stem, right? And you saw him thinking he might need to swat, against a bigger physical corner here, and then just easy in transition down the line on the in route, and comes back to the ball on top of it to ensure that he's the only one who can make a play at the catch point. Here on an out route, threaten a little bit of leverage like you're running a seam. Easy in and out of that break, tight to the line. Win the out route, no problem. Jab step to the inside. Love how he fights through contact. It looks like it's over, dips through really nicely, and then, again, sudden, good speed cut on the break on the out route, right? So he has that ability to handle some contact. Here, a nice job, right? Get to the blind spot of the corner, right? Threaten outside, and then show off the rear acceleration capabilities against Central Florida. Super, super good, right? And here, I think he does a nice job stacking where he doesn't get a lot of opportunities to show that. But here, again, it's tight contact. Love how he's able to fight through, right? He's in good position here, and then there's some contact and a little bit of inaccurate ball outside, but you saw him be able to fight through to stack and get into a good position. Here on a little stutter go, it's a similar thing where initially stuck, but look at the hand usage to fight through and then make a really nice play tight roping the sideline. So you get plenty of that. And here, another job fighting contact, leaning into the contact, and then snapping off the route break really tight to the line once again. And again, a flair for the dramatic. This is part of the deception and pressure, though, that you put at top of stems. This little rocker step, right, gets the corner to bite, and now he's way on the defensive. So, like, the fact that he knows how to do that and can throw those in at any time is really good stuff, right? And then it comes to the catch point and the ball skills. Running the in-breaker here. Look at the ability. Decelerate, adjust, obey the football. This might be my favorite rep of Hunter's because of how good this is. Immediate stop, adjust, great catch. And then, of course, what he can do through contact. This is an insane catch. We've all seen it many times. It is very, very impressive. And again, the work he does at the catch point isn't limited to that. Impressive extension. We've already seen that with the cornerback stuff, right, of how easy that is for him. This one's a little underthrown for him, but a great job elevating and ensuring that he's timing that right at the catch point. Here we're fighting through contact on the fade, get back into good position, and make a tremendous play on the ball. You're going to get a little out of frame here, but he does stack, right? He's stacking the corner here, and he is open. Underthrown ball. How about fight through an armbar to the neck a little bit and make a great catch, right? So he has that. And then here on the seam from the slot, love that he turns his head, right? He sees the ball, right? First order of business, right? He sees that the throw is coming his way. So he knows this is being thrown to him. Love that he trusts his tracking skill set, the coordination, to put his head down and get down the field and then slightly adjust pace at the catch point and realize, okay, I've got nobody on me. This is the time to make that catch. I'm not going to wait for the ball. I'm not going to try to drift with it. No, I'm going to go get it right now. Another one of my favorite reps from him. Another good job of he does a nice job, finding space, right? Second reaction play here, get to the open space, and then also don't get contact brought in, right? Go attack at the catch point so he gets a favorable outcome there. And then again, the ability to help the QB, right? Dig route. I'm going to run all the way to the sideline to help my scrambling quarterback and make a really, really good play. Now here, again, this is probably in the top three with that, with those other two that I mentioned that I really, really enjoyed. Combat press, really nice. And then realize you have a lot of space to work with. Say, open up to the ball right now. I'll take it. And then the ability. Foot's already down as the ball arrives, transitions to runner super, super quickly. That's where we get to this phase, right? One more before we do that is we talked about, finding space and understanding it. Does so here. And then, again, help your QB out in the scramble drill. Come back to the ball again. And he does create after the catch there. So that when it comes to after the catch, right, acceleration. Patient to set this up. Once it's set up, turn on the afterburners. We'll see you later. Easy 6 points. He shredded BYU in this game after the catch, and it was really, really impressive. Watch this. So as the ball arrives, look what he's doing. Completing the catch, we already turned up field. Love the detail there. And then again, the ability to accelerate, to cut, and maintain some of that speed when you're cutting in space is so, so good. And here, a great job feeling this, where defenders are. Great instincts and feel of the game. Why? Because he looks. He takes a quick look, and it's tough to see, but he's looking now. He looks to see, okay, I've got a pair of defenders here. Now he goes back to the ball, understands probably more space back the way I came. Gears down as the ball arrives. One cut and accelerate. Huge play. This is what Hunter should be doing against, Big 12 competition, and he did it. He did it. Again, hitch route. What do? Peek inside as the ball arrives. Try to deceive the corner, and he does because he's planting off that left foot, and see ya. Make the first man miss, create after the catch. That's what we want to see. Insane move here. Leaps for the ball. plants off that right foot, and just insane acceleration in such a short time. Again, make the first man miss, wicked cut there, and then get upfield. He's not doing too much. Here again, this may be doing too much, but the ability to sink your hips and just make guys grasp for air like this just has to put a smile on your face. Just an insane move, right? And so what happens when you put it all together? You get plays like this, okay? Pressure vertically, throw by technique with the hand, if you saw it there. Really good. And then again, that same move we saw earlier, jump at the catch point, use that ability to, when you're coming down, to accelerate off that plant foot, make the first man miss. So good. Combat physicality in the stem here, dip underneath. And as the ball arrives, plant that foot in the ground and know you have an angle to the inside. So good. So Travis Hunter can do both, right? You've seen, again, the movement skills, the ball skills, and the incredible feel he has for the game. And that's what makes him, a unique prospect that we just may never see again play two positions at this high of a level. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Travis Hunter. If you did, throw a like down there, subscribe if you're new, plenty more draft content all month long. I will catch you guys in the next video. Farewell.